The Media Career Guide, brought to you by the Gauteng Film Commission.
Salibonani, Dumelang, and welcome to Media Career Guide right here on SABC1, brought to you by the Gauteng Film Commission. On today's show, we tell you how to find a job and where to find it. We'll chat to an HR manager from an international company and also have a chat with two ladies from recruitment agencies. Let's check out our first interview.
We kick off today's show by chatting to Lindokuhle Ndwandwe, who is an HR manager at an international company called ABB.
Lindo, please tell us about your role as an HR manager.
The role of an HR manager must parallel the needs of an organization. Successful organizations are ever-changing. They're becoming adaptable, resilient, and they change direction. Quite often, within this environment, HR manager must be a strategic partner to the business and a sponsor or an advocate for employees. But more importantly, the HR manager has got a responsibility to handle the key functions of HR, such as your recruitment, employee development, organizational development, coaching, policy reviews and recommendations, succession planning, retention strategy for the business. The list is actually endless.
Why is it important for companies to have HR departments?
HR department in any company is an ace in the hole if used strategically. HR department looks after the critical resource that cannot be replaced, which is people, employees. Without good employees, all organizations, the strategic planning for organizations, the key plans that organizations have will fail without good human resource strategy and department.
Now, how does one draft a good CV?
That's a very good question you've asked. It is critical that a CV has to be as simple and straightforward. If candidates or job seekers do that, they make it easy for interviewers or companies that recruit to look at their CVs. They have got to look at their profile in terms of skills and experience that they've acquired over the years. If it's good leavers, they need to tap into their experience that they've gained from their school, from colleges, from universities, in order for them to be able to make it clear in the CV, make it simpler for the companies that are searching for new candidates.
What are some of the benefits of joining a recruitment agency?
Well, joining a recruitment agency, it gives you exposure. As soon as you join an agency that is reputable, you get exposure. They will they get positions even before they get advertised to newspapers. Most organizations nowadays, they perhaps would like to reduce their advertisement cost and stuff like that. They will put CVs onto their job boards and into the agencies. And agencies have got access to these job boards. Therefore, if a job seeker joins the recruitment agents, they get more exposure. They can be coached as well as to how they must write their CVs firstly. Number two, to be coached as to how to handle the interview session. They'll be given tips and ideas as to how to manage interview process. They get more exposure in the market.
Now, are there any processes that you follow once you find the right person to occupy a position?
Well, it's simply welcoming a person and taking them through the induction program. All organizations have got their specific induction programs that they will take through their new people. Obviously, there will be pre-employment, details that happens in terms of your background checks, your medical checkups and all those things as part of the pre-employment. Once that has been passed, the employee comes in. Some other companies will introduce a buddies kind of a system where they introduce you to a certain person who is in the organization who will look after you in terms of guiding you how to sort of adjust into the culture of the organization.
Lindo, how often do you have to interview new candidates?
It depends in terms of the demand in the business. For our organization, we're almost interviewing every day because the demand is quite high for engineers at the moment. But in terms of organizations, it depends on their planning for the year as to how often they'll be doing interviews.
How can one tell if a recruitment agency is above board?
Well, that is critical because they will find a number of fly-by-nights that are not registered. Well, basically, job seekers must ensure that they check as to how long that agency has been operating and who they've been operating with in terms of service to certain organizations. But critically, they must make sure that the employment agency is registered with Mpho.
Linda, what tips can you give job seekers, especially when going to interviews?
I think the most important first step for the job seekers is that they must make sure that their track record is clear as possible in terms of their resume, showing that they've created some experience in the past, and they must indicate the length of service in the past experience. In addition to what I'm saying just now, they must also put in their achievements in the past employment. That will also set them apart from their peers in the industry. But most importantly, the point that they must note is that organizations nowadays, they use technology to sort CVs by keywords in their resume. It is critical for them that they make sure that if they write the resume, they look at the profile of the position that they want to apply for and ensure that those keywords that are in the profile are also integrated into the CV. But not for the sake of putting them there, but they must make sure that they've got the knowledge of what they're putting down in their CV. But they also make sure that their resume is clean as possible. They must not go fancy in terms of borders and fonts and stuff like that. Stick to the basics and make sure that it is clean as possible. It is amazing up to today that people still submit CVs with wrong information. A simple spell check. That is critical because what happens is that a job seeker may submit an application with a position that they applied for previous months or so. It is very important that they check their CVs, get someone else to read their CVs, and make sure that they check and reread their CVs and make sure it is correct. But also critical is that also when they submit their CVs, they tend to get their personal email address, the email handles. There are some email handles that are not professional when they're submitted to the companies. For instance, some people will have, I hate my boss, x.com, for instance. Those are not professional emails. They must take time to go to the free email houses and make sure that they get their emails in their names and in their surnames. That will look professional. But also for the youngsters who are coming out of school, for instance, they will have your caller tunes in their cell phones. You find that a recruiter wants to call a person and a person has got Dr. Malinga via Orlando, stuff like that, or Nicki Minaj, stuff like that. And that is a little bit more unprofessional, as recruiters are not interested to dance and stuff like that. You just want to call someone and get a ringtone, a proper ringtone, and get through to the person. That is very important. But most importantly, when they now called for an interview, it is important that they start the company that they are invited to come for an interview. They must check the information and prepare questions for the interview and relevant questions for the position that they are applying for.
The Media Career Guide. The Media Career Guide. We are still chatting to HR Manager Lindokuhle Ndwandwe from ABB.
Lindo, please share with us a strange interview of some sort. Okay,
well, there's various things that happens during the interview. Sometimes you'll be taken aback by the dress code of a person, which I didn't mention when I spoke earlier. For job seekers, it is critical that they stick to the dress code that is acceptable in terms of the interview process. Stick to the colors that are acceptable, professional colors, black, gray, or navy, stuff like that. Well, at one point we had an interview where a spouse, a wife of this candidate, wanted to join into the interview and perhaps answer the questions for husband. Such things are not acceptable. We advise and we discourage such things to happen. If you are dropped by someone for an interview, that person must stay in the car, and you must just come alone into the reception and be greeted and adjust yourself and come down for interview. Don't bring your friends or your family to accompany you into the interview. Just be by yourself and be bold and be confident and just sell yourself.
Lindo, please tell us about your learnership programs.
We're currently running learnerships in Soweto, Tladi. The college is called Itemba. Focusing mainly on the electrical engineering. At the moment, we've got 30 students housed at Itemba College. We're looking at adding the number this year. So anyone who's interested to be interviewed or to be considered for these opportunities can contact us at ADB. They can contact Felicia Wagner, who's our Learning and Development Officer, on 010-202-5000.
The Biz Community website is the go-to website for media professionals who are looking for jobs. Simone from Biz Community tells us why the website is so popular.
Bizcommunity is popular because we have so many job listings, and I think part of the reason for that is that what we charge for job listings has always been very reasonable. So people have been able to afford to advertise, whether it's big companies to small little SMEs. And it's one of those things where when I'm out and about as editor at large, I meet a lot of people who say that they found their job through Biz, and you know what? I found my job through Biz too. I'd listed myself under the Jobs Wanted ad, and one day, seven years ago, my editor then contacted me and asked me to send in my CV. So I'm proof that Biz finds you jobs. Well, Biz Community is more than just jobs. It's also we carry news, from breaking news to contributor pieces. We also, of course, we have our press offices in which clients can run their press releases, which is also, there's very useful information in press office releases too. We carry news on the latest movements in the industry, people on the move, new business wins. It's always interesting to know who's winning what. And we've got galleries. We're a one-stop shop for all that's happening in the marketing, media and advertising industries. On Biz Community, you've actually got the best of both worlds, because apart from being able to upload your own CV, if you go to www.bizcommunity.com/CV, it's a few easy screens to actually create your own CV. We also have recruiters listed as well, and we have a database of over 48,000 job searchers that's currently listed. At the moment we have more than 2,300 jobs, and new jobs are posted daily. I've always found with job hunting, it's not what you know, it's whom you know. And it's tough out there. But you need to think strategically about how you're doing your job hunting and find the right people to help you. I have to say, in this day and age of social media, be very careful what you say online. Because what goes online stays online. It can be found in Google. So watch what you say on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, because recruiters and companies who are looking for people will go to social media to see what you're saying, how you are conveying yourself, what you get up to in your spare time, because they're looking for people who can represent the brand. So just make sure that if your privacy settings are set properly. Things have changed. These days, the plus side of social media is that you can use word of mouth through social media to help you find a job. But once again, it's easier to backtrack to see who that person is. So don't say online what you wouldn't say to somebody face to face. I think magazines have been more successful in embracing online media and social media and seeing it as brand extensions, whereas newspapers not so much. But it's a great opportunity at the moment for people to go solo and launch their own niche media sites. But what's becoming very interesting is how tracking the jargon. I mean, what's currently hot at the moment is content marketing, and that is marketing yourself through good content, and that's what the brands are doing. So, I mean, we always talk about, the media, we talk about PR as being the dark side, and people in media do move from being journalists to PR, and now moving into ad agencies and branding agencies and working on the content marketing side. So there's definite demand for people who can actually write and be eloquent, but it might not be in traditional roles. Well, I've certainly seen some of the media houses advertising the internship programs, and well, my advice would be to watch Biz to see what's advertised there and what's mentioned in the news section. And I mean, these days, where I hang out mainly is Twitter, and there's so many people to follow, but you find the key people to follow and you'll see the job opportunities. But there's nothing wrong with being proactive, but then you don't waste people's time. If you send through an email requesting an interview, you need to be able to write English properly. If you have any spelling errors or grammatical errors, I mean, that's an immediate no-no. What's unique about Bizcommunity is the sheer selection of jobs, and very interesting jobs that you'll find on a daily basis. So I recommend that you subscribe to our newsletter or to our RSS feed and find that perfect job. If you want to get a wide selection of job opportunities on Bizcommunity, go to www.bizcommunity.com/jobs, and you'll be able to search for jobs via keyword, via region, and you'll also find us on Facebook and on Twitter. If you want to speak to me on Twitter, I'm @SamonBiz, and we look forward to being of help and to continuing to help grow the industry.